Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first 9 weeks review. This is Chapter 2. We're going to get started with a quick review on our conditional statements. And so a conditional statement is an if-then statement. It is written as if P, then Q. So conditional is our if P, then Q. This first one, the not P, then not Q, that little symbol right there means not. You're either adding the word not to the hypothesis or taking it out. Same thing for the conclusion. That is going to be our inverted mode. So that is our inverse. On a video game, that's if you play inverted mode, it's where if you push the controller up, the player looks down. If you push the button down, the player looks up. So that's our inverted mode. So we leave them in the same spot, but we just negate them. And then we have our if Q, then P is going to be our converse. So we said it's kind of like shoes. It's where you just flip your feet. So our converse is where here's my left foot and my right foot, and I've just switched them. So if these are my original shoes, I've taken them, and now I have just flipped the order. Okay? And then what is the last one? The last one is where you're switching not only the place of the Q and the P, but you're also negating them. That is going to be our contrapositive. It's the longest word, and it's the most work. Contrapositive. All right, so it says write the converse, inverse, and contrapositive of each conditional statement. Full disclosure, y'all, I could not, my handwriting is way too big and my Apple Pen is lagging. And so I'm just gonna have my students do one of each. So converse for the first sentence, inverse for the second sentence, and contrapositive for the third sentence, okay? All right, conditional statement. Let's look at the OG. What is our if P, then Q? If two lines intersect, is my hypothesis, two lines intersect, then Q, the lines intersect at a point. So there is my P, there is my Q. I like to put a box around the words if and then, just to kind of make everything stand out a little bit better. If P, then Q. So what is my converse going to be? My converse is going to be if Q, then P. So I leave the word if where it's at, but I'm going to go get that blue stuff. If the lines intersect at a point, y'all can see my pen is lagging. I don't know what's wrong with it. I think I've dropped it too many times. If the lines intersect at a point. Oh, y'all. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that in blue. If the lines intersect at a point, what do we know? Then yellow. So what's my yellow stuff? I can literally just copy paste it right here. Then two lines intersect. Okay. If two lines intersect, then the lines intersect at a point is my conditional. My converse is if the lines intersect at a point, then two lines intersect. Intersect. All right, so let's go ahead and y'all, this is gonna drive y'all nuts having to watch this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and do this in colors, and then I will go back on the key and actually write all this stuff out because this is not working well. So if, and then. And I'll just go back and copy paste it in colors. Okay, what is my original statement? If angles are supplementary, then what? Then the angles sum to 180 degrees. So there's my if, there's my then. Here's if, here's then. And so what we're gonna do for our inverse is where you're gonna go not P, then not Q. Okay, so this is my if P, then Q statement. We're gonna go if not P, then not Q. So what would that be? I'll just say it out loud. It's gonna be if not yellow, so leave the yellow stuff where it's at, then not blue. So I'm just gonna say it and then I'll write it on the key. If angles are not supplementary, then the angles do not sum to 180 degrees. All right, I'll go back and write that in later because I don't want y'all to have to watch it lag. All right, so if, let's go again. My original statement is if an angle is a right angle, what do we know about it? Then it measures 90. So what's my contrapositive going to be? My contrapositive is going to be not Q, then not P. So in colors, what that's going to be is it's going to be if not blue, then not yellow. So we're going to do that out loud. So if not blue, then not yellow. So it would be if it does not measure 90 degrees, then an angle is not a right angle. Okay? This was me. Why does this say hello? This was me testing my pen. I don't know why it's going so slow, so sorry for the lag, y'all. All right, so I will go back and write that on the answer key, and that way you don't have to sit here and watch me do this. All right, what is the next number in the sequence? Well, let's look at what's happening. We have 2, and then -1, and then -4, so it's obviously decreasing every time, and then -7. So I immediately know I can get rid of anything that's not a negative on there, so immediately I know it's not going to be C, So that's just test taking strategy. It's not going to be C because that would be an increasing number. And so 2 to negative 1 goes down 3. Negative 1 to negative 4 goes left 3 on the number line and then keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. So down 3 every time. So what is it doing? It's decreasing by 3 every single time. Minus 3, minus 3, minus 3. So it's going to do minus 3 again. And so negative 7 minus 3 is going to give me negative 10. So it will be B. All right, this is an interesting figure. It says choose the next figure in the pattern. So we've got this hexagon, and it's got a triangle in it, and it looks like the triangle is turning. So it starts straight up and down, and then it turns to the left. So if it turned again, which way would it be facing? It's going to be one of these. So I can already go ahead and cross out, just process of elimination. I can go ahead and cross out. We know it's not A, we know it's not D, we know it's not E. Now we need to look at what's happening with the dot. And so where's the dot going? It's in this left corner, then it's in this top left corner. So it's going to be, and it looks like it's going clockwise, and so it's going to be in the top right corner. So that is B. So I know that it's going to be B. C, the dot has gone too far. All right, which of the following conjectures is false? So we're looking for obviously what that means, just test taking strategies. If we're looking for the one that's false, that means that all of the other ones are going to be true, okay? And so let's just go through and see which ones are true, and there should only be one that is false. We're going to read them all. If x is odd, then x plus 1 is even. And so if you struggle with that, let's just put a number here. If x is odd, so let's pick an odd number. So let's just give ourselves an example, 3. Then it's saying that x plus 1, or 3 plus 1, would be even. Is that true? Yes, so this is true. The sum of 2 odd numbers is even. Well, let's just test it out. 2 odd numbers, and we want to add them together. So like 3 plus 5. What is 3 plus 5? That is 8. So that is also true. We could test this multiple times, so that's also going to be true. So we know it's not going to be either of those. So I'm going to cross those out as I go. It's not A, it's not B. So I've gone from a 25% shot at getting this right to I've just narrowed it down to a 50% shot. So let's go back. The difference of 2 even numbers is positive. So difference means subtraction, and we want some even numbers. So let's go 2 even numbers. The difference of 2 even numbers is positive. So like let's just say I did 4 minus 2. Well, 4 minus 2 is 2, which is positive. But what if I flipped that around, y'all? What if instead of doing 4 minus 2, we have to test this conjecture? What is 2 minus 4? 2 minus 4 gives me negative 2. So if you take the smaller number and subtract the bigger number, it is going to give you a negative. So this is going to be a false statement. So the answer should be C, but let's check the last one and just make sure that I didn't do something wrong. Because if I'd started with that first example, I might have thought that was true. If x is positive, then negative x is negative. That is a true statement. If x is positive, so pick a positive number, so like 2. Then negative x is negative, you put a negative in front of it. Okay, that's going to happen every single time, even if that's a fraction or a decimal. If you have a positive number, putting a negative in front of it is going to flip it to a negative. So what is my answer? We're looking for which one is false. Which one is false would be C. Okay. What is the inverse of if? So let's start with this. If, here's my hypothesis, water is ice, then the water's temperature is 32 degrees, okay? So it doesn't say to see if it's true or false, it just wants the inverse. So what is our inverse? Our inverse is going to be not P, then not Q. Okay, so what is that in colors? It's going to be, inverted mode is going to be if not yellow, then not blue. So we're looking for if water is not ice. If water is not ice. That is going to be B. Check the rest of it just to make sure. If water is not ice, then its temperature is not 32 degrees. Again, they left the yellow in the same spot. They left the blue in the same spot. But what word did they add to it? They negated it. They added that word not. Okay? What is the converse of if you're hungry, then you didn't eat lunch? Okay, so we're looking for converse this time. Here is if, here is then, and then I like to color code. Here's my hypothesis P. Here is my conclusion Q. Okay, so if P, then Q. Converse is going to be if Q, then P. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for if blue, then yellow. So if you didn't eat lunch, if you didn't eat lunch, then you are hungry. That is going to be A, because that is my if, blue, then yellow. then you are hungry. Okay, so if blue, then yellow. All right, and they give you another one just to make sure that you've got this down. They want you to pick the contrapositive this time. So what is the contrapositive? Not Q, then not P. And they actually use a mathematical statement here, so this is going to be interesting. So if yellow, then blue is my OG, that's my original. Here's my if P, then Q. So what is my contrapositive going to be? It's going to be if not Q, so if not blue, then not yellow. So that's what we're looking for. If not blue, which is this one. If not blue, how do I know it means not? Because they have that, they marked out that equal sign. They're saying those are not equal. So if not blue, then not yellow. X is not equal to 3. Again, y'all can see there's that, they crossed it out. And so remember, contrapositive is where you have to do the most. Not only do you have to switch the positions, you also have to negate them. Okay, and I will make a new video for the next part.